You think you're alone. You think the silence means abandonment. You think the weight is yours to carry. But listen, I'm not here for comfort. I'm here for commitment. When the ground cracks, I don't step back. When the pressure spikes, I don't retreat. You don't have to ask, I already decided. And I don't break that promise. You call it luck, you call it timing. You say it just happened, but nothing just happens. Every result then has a trail, every outcome has a cause. You see the moment, you miss the build, the early mornings, the quiet discipline, the unseen repetition. That's not coincidence, that's construction. You don't stumble into strength, you shape it. You don't fall into opportunity. You prepare for it when the door opens. It's because you push before it moves. When the shift happens, it's because pressure was applied long before anyone noticed. There is no miracle without groundwork, no breakthrough without friction. Sudden was forming, what feels explosive was compounding. Step by step, choice by choice. There is no chaos in your effort, only accumulation. So when the moment arrives, don't question it, own it. You built it, every strike, every refusal, every controlled breath led here. There are no accidents, only inevitability. When preparation the outcome becomes yours. Nobody's coming, no special invite, no hidden script, no dramatic rescue. If the story shifts, it's because you moved, not because fate adjusted. You look around waiting for a sign, but the sign is you. Yeah, 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 you. That is you. Yeah, 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 you. Every boring day, every flat moment, every is raw material. You don't need excitement, you need decision. You don't need applause, you need action. The world doesn't entertain you. You shape it, you color it with risk, you sharpen it with effort. You don't complain about the plot, you rewrite it. One choice changes direction, one bold step changes tone. The rhythm of your life isn't random, it follows momentum, and momentum follows movement. So stop waiting for something interesting, become it. Turn ordinary into intensity, turn doubt into fuel, turn pressure into acceleration. Because if this life is yours, then the energy's yours too. No No excuses, no background roll. Step forward on the frame and drive it hard. You don't get a rehearsal, no rewind, no section script, no alternate ending. This is it, one shot, one path, one stretch of time. One stretch of time. So why shrink? Why hesitate? Like tomorrow is guaranteed. Every breath is borrowed. Every sunrise is limited. You don't get infinite temps, you get now. Right now. The risks you avoid become regrets. The moves you delay become what ifs. And what if is heavier than failure? Fail fast, rise faster, adjust, push again. Because motion creates meaning. You don't live carefully, you live fully. Even mistakes prove you moved, even scars prove you tried. Stand up, choose bold, choose forward, choose impact. Impact. Not safe, not quiet, not invisible. The clock doesn't slow for fear. The world doesn't pause for doubt. So act hard, loud in effort, if not in words. You only get this life, make it count. With movements. You fall, so what? You stall, so what? The ground doesn't decide who wins, the distance does. You're not defeated because you're tired. You're defeated when you stop. Pain isn't proof you should quit. It's proof you're pushing It hasn't happened yet. That doesn't mean it won't. The silence is not the end. It's the build. You look at the past, searching for proof, but the future. Demands movement. Miracles don't fall. They fall under pressure, under repetition, under refusal to quit. You don't need magic. You need persistence. One more rep, one more mile, one more late night. That's how the shift begins. You won't feel it at first. The growth is quiet, invisible. Visible. We're compounding. Every setback adds density. Every comeback adds force. The version of you you're waiting for is built in motion. Not in wishing. Not in waiting. The world changes when momentum tilts, and momentum tilts when you push harder than yesterday, faster than doubt, stronger than fear. This isn't the peak, this is ignition. Breakthrough isn't behind you, it's ahead, and it moves when you move. So don't look back for proof. Look forward and create it, because the extraordinary starts now. first step never is. You'll hesitate, you'll doubt, you'll question whether you're ready. But readiness isn't a condition, it's a result. Things move when you move. Doors open when you knock. Momentum doesn't wait for certainty, it waits for action. You don't need guarantees, you need courage for the next decision. Most walls aren't concrete, they're assumptions. Most limits aren't physical, the hesitation. Try, adjust, try again. That's the formula, not genius, not luck. Repetition, there were times you thought it was impossible, and somehow you adapted. There were days you felt unqualified, and somehow you improved. Because effort rewrites probability. Because motion creates options. You don't solve everything before starting, you solve things by starting. The path clears as you step, resistance weakens as you push. Do it long enough, do it consistently, and what looked impossible becomes manageable. What felt overwhelming becomes routine. Act and adjust, act again. Because more often than not, if you move, it works itself out. Don't quit yet, not halfway, not mid-breath, not mid-effort. You haven't reached the limit, you reach discomfort, and discomfort is not the finish line, it's the test. You feel tired, good, you feel pressure, better. That means you're close to expansion. Nobody breaks at their true limit. Hey, break out that fear, you haven't exhausted your strength, you've only challenged your comfort. Stay one more rep, one more mile. Stay one more decision, you don't walk away. One more mile, one more mile. Stay one more decision, you don't walk away. Mid-fight, you don't surrender. Mid-growth, if you fail, let it be after everything was given. Let it be with empty reserves, not untouched potential. Push through doubt, push through noise, push through fatigue. Because most victories happen after most people stop. And if you must fall, fall forward exhausted, but certain that you did not leave effort behind. Quit only after you've truly given all of it. All of it. All of it. You push too far, you cross the line. You thought silence meant weakness, you thought patience meant surrender. pressure. You mistook calm for collapse. You mistook stillness for fear. But pressure doesn't disappear, it detonates. This isn't chaos, it's focus. This isn't noise, it's ignition. You wanted a reaction, you got evolution. Every word thrown adds velocity. Every doubt spoken adds force. I don't break, I convert heat into dry, rage into precision. This isn't reckless, it's dialectic, not wild. Doesn't hesitate, no retreat, no apology, no hesitation. You lit the fuse, now watch, now when dumb. Multiply. No rewind. No perfect timing. No ideal conditions. Just now, right here, this breath. Begin. From this exact second, from unfinished plans, from imperfect strength, from doubt still present, you begin because starting is the shift. The past is data, not destiny. The mistakes await, not change. You stand up, not fully ready, but willing. You step forward, not fully certain, but committed. Momentum doesn't ask for clarity, it asks for motion. Changes direction, one action changes pace. This isn't the comeback, this is ignition. Not loud. Not dramatic. Just deliberate. You don't need applause, you need forward. So breathe in, lock your focus, lift your chest and move. From here, everything builds. Power isn't loud, it's deliberate. The ones who reach without thinking. Every action writes a consequence, every strike invites with awareness, because force is not privilege, it's responsibility. Accept the backlash. No retreat after commitment, no trembling after decision. Strength isn't measured by how hard you hit, but by what you endure after pressure. Pain, repercussion. Step through it, own it, carry it, because only those prepared to take the hit deserve to strive. And if you move clean, move certain, move no. And everything is weight and you chose to lift it. Self-pity feels soft. It whispers you deserve more. You tried enough, it's not your fault. But listen closely, it doesn't lift you, it sinks you. The moment you start blaming the world, you give it control. The moment you start crying over fairness, you freeze in place. Self-pity is not comfort, it's paralysis. It turns effort into complaint, turns growth into resentment. And slowly the nightmare begins. Not loud, not dramatic, just repetitive. Same thoughts, same excuses, same regrets. Over and over, you don't escape pain by worshiping it. You escape it by moving forward. Even when pride hurts, even when failure burns, you choose action, because the alternative is decay. And decay is silent. It looks harmless, until you realize you haven't months in years in potential. So cut it off. No sympathy, no dramatic.